Good morning, folks, and by morning I mean 1:35 a.m. here in the southern tip Rawai of Phuket, Thailand. I have to mention this for people who are just popping in for the first time via what however means. This is Richard Nikoley. The blog is freetheanimal.com, and today I'm gonna do a post on some of the admin changes I'm doing, but I'm still going to be making videos, but I'm going to do those on the blog differently. Not one video, one whole post. Probably going to do a roundup every Sunday of any videos I've made throughout the week. Enough on that, I'll do it in the post, but this one is about GEO arbitrage. Now, I know that makes some people's eyes go over. Some don't even have a good grasp of what arbitrage is and what it means, and it's basically a term which, it gained, most understanding of the term arbitrage is in currency exchange. So you can, if you're astute, you buy up one currency expecting a change, and then you sell the currency for either the same currency you bought it with or a different currency or whatever. It's pretty complex, and it's a market that trades 24/7, 365 around the world, called Forex. But there's other senses of arbitrage. So by GEO arbitrage, I'm talking about the advantage you can get by earning money in the context of living one place, and you're able to earn that same money but live in a place where the cost of living is far less. Okay, so for example, I say to people that in Thailand, your cost of living can be like 5 to 10 times less than in the States, even more. It depends on how your lifestyle is. There's some people here that it's 1-to-1. I mean, they have lots of money and they do all the stuff. They go to expensive restaurants, they buy premium stuff at the Farang markets. They're stores that in areas where there's lots of foreigners, expats. These are stores that cater to them. Like I have one that's like, I have two, but the bigger one called Villa Market is like, it's a chain here in Thailand in different expat places. Coffee at 1:30 in the morning. Just as a quick aside, I lay down and take a nap at like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and I'd been getting up very early every morning for like a week, and I ended up sleeping until like 11. So I got a full night's sleep and got up at 11, and here I still am, wired with Americanos. Go figure. Anyway, to get back to it, so this market is like ridiculous. I mean, there's some things I have to go there to get because I just can't get it anyplace else. Like if I want to make a pot of chili. Well, ground beef is fairly easy to find, but there the ground beef is like $10 a pound, and it's Thai beef too. It's not, typically the imported beef is Australia here because that's closest, so the lowest transportation cost. Lamb, New Zealand, well, the whole world does that. And so for example, like a can of chopped tomatoes, what are they, 14-ounce cans, to put in something. It's over $3, right? Get this one, a standard, thing of Quaker Oats. If you like oatmeal, Quaker Oats, I think it's like $15. No shit, right? But there are people who, they have to have their thing. So they go there to get their thing. So they're not saving money at all. They're saving money on some things, but then they're, so it's kind of a wash. And then there are on the other side, there are the extreme frugal folks, backpackers and whatnot, or people on fixed income that are more like 10%. And I'm climbing my way towards that. For the first 2.5 years, I was probably more like, 3 to 5 times. But that's why I just moved, because I'm in a place now that's $100 a month, and it's nice and I like it. And I've been in places that are typically 300 to 400 a month. And in the last one was ridiculously more than I needed. But it was a good price, because it was, in normal times with the tourist high season, it would have rented for upwards of $1,000 a month. And I had it for 9 months, but it was big. 2 stories, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and everything. And I occupied a small space of it. Never even went upstairs. So that, and then the other big thing I've been doing is eating, lowering the cost of food. There are lots and lots. One of the great things about where I live in Rowai here is that there are tons of expat restaurants. In other words, owned by expats, And so there's great German, there's great French, there's great Swiss, there's great Belgian, even a few places that cater to more of an American flair. But all Europe is Swedish, right? There's anything in Europe. They're well outfitted here for restaurants, and so a lot of different kinds of food, but it's for a Western sort of palate. Pubs, I eat bangers and mash and shepherd's pie and things of that sort, British pubs and Sunday roast. And the thing about, this was a kind of an epiphany for me when I got here. Well, it was after I was here for a while, but there's places that do the English style Sunday roast, which is, typically a roast beef, or a lamb. Some places offer chicken and ham and so on and so forth. Yorkshire puddings, that's always essential, and a nice gravy, a brown gravy. But what really got me is the quality of their side dishes, the vegetables. I mean, they're really over the top. Far better than the average fare that you get in America for vegetables and whatnot for side dishes. It's more like, on Sunday, it's more like your side dishes at, Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner, where everybody goes all out, right? I really like that. But the thing is the price is high. So you go out to, and by the time you have something to drink, even water, there's no such thing as free water in Thailand, nowhere. So you pay 20 to 30 baht, which is like 70 cents to $1 for just a bottle of water, right? Everywhere. So you have to include that. So you go to these expat restaurants, and you're by the time you get out of there, you're at over 10 to more like $15, right? Not much different from America, if you're not eating at a fancy restaurant. So I've changed that, and I'm building a repertoire of places I go to, because I want the price to be in the 80 to 150 range. So like, 250 to 450 kind of thing, or 4. But some of the places I go to, 100, 120 baht, and you can get great meals. Breakfast here There's a lot of vendors out on the streets doing fresh charcoal grilled skewers of chicken and pork on a stick, right? And they typically eat it with sticky rice in a bag. So each skewer is 5 baht. So I'll get like 3 chicken, 3 pork, that's 30 baht, and a bag of sticky rice, 5 baht. So 35 baht, that's $1 for breakfast. Can do, and it's good. It's good stuff, really, seriously, right? On the other hand, you know, if I go to a pub and get one of their breakfasts, an American style or an English style or something like that, it's going to be minimum 150 baht. And if you throw a coffee on top of that, the coffees are typically 60 baht. So you're over 200, you're up to $7, $8. So that's a big factor, right? Especially if it's every day. Cooking is surprisingly, you know, I cooked a big pot of chili con carne, you know, chili beans and ground beef, you know, chili powder, all that, tomatoes and everything. And the pot ended up, I priced it out, the pot ended up costing about $15, and I think I got 5 meals out of it. So I'm at about 100 baht per meal, which is good. That's, you know, roughly, you know, $3. Well, back when it was 33 to 1, now it's 35 or so to 1. So a little bit less than $3 per meal. And that's a home cooked meal, right? But it's because I need certain ingredients that I have to get from Villa Market. And when you're paying $3 for a can of tomatoes, a can of chopped tomatoes. So now, you know, tomatoes are easy enough to get. So I just get a bag of tomatoes, and that's like $1, right? And boom, good to go. I've got all the stuff to make chile verde, except using a green Thai pepper instead of jalapenos. When I was in Chiang Mai, I could get jalapenos at a market there, but here, nowhere to be found. So I'm gonna try it. You can get canned jalapenos, expensive, but I've never tried that. So I'm gonna experiment with a Thai version of it. But anyway, back to the arbitrage thing. So what GEO arbitrage, what it entails is having some sort of job or freelance sort of thing where you get paid in a Western context, be it America, Canada, you know, Australia, New Zealand, Western Europe in particular, where you can use use your computer and your phone essentially to do work. You can do software engineering, you can do web design, you can do graphic design, you can do consulting, you can do financial analysis and things like that. You can have rental properties like I do in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, and as long as it isn't COVID, that's pretty good and it's easy to do. And I have a blog, and my subscribers are typically Westerners. You know, they pay $6 a month or $50 for a year, which is a 30-something% discount. And if it was Thailand, you wouldn't be able to get more than about $3 for a month. Not even $3 for a month. Like you know, maybe $10 for a year. You know, $1 a month kind of thing, at most, right? So it's important that you have the Western, because then with the cost of living, you can do this. Now let's talk about pensions and Social Security. Well, you know, of course, if you have a retirement account, IRA or 401k, you know, that's all over the map. You know, maybe you have 50,000 in there, maybe you have 2 million, right? So it's you know, that's going to all depend. But let's say I didn't take the time to Google what is it. So say you take early, let's just focus on Social Security, U.S. Social Security. Now, oh, did you know that the UK I have a friend who's going to be moving to Philippines, where his, I guess, wife and his 16-ish year old daughter live. He's on his UK Social Security, and it's like $600 a month. It's really unbelievable, right? So in for U.S. Social Security, I would guess that if you take early, which is at 62, well, mine's gonna come out to be close to, which starts in February. That's close to like 1,450 a month, which comes out to about 52,000 baht at current exchange rates. Well, the cool thing is that if I lived in the U.S., 1,500 a month, I'd have to live in like Louisiana or Mississippi to have any sort of, California, forget about it. I mean, you got to have a second job, or you got to be making some money somewhere, or you live in like, you're living Ted Kaczynski style. But here, you can easily live pretty decently on 30,000 per month, provided you're not going to bars all the time and buying ladies drinks or renting ladies, or massage parlors with happy endings and all of that stuff. If you're not doing that, or at least limit it and curtail it, you can do pretty good on just 30,000 a month. So at 50 a month, you're doing pretty well. My rent is 3,500. Probably going to be another 500 for electricity. I use the air conditioning only at night to sleep. That's all. I close everything off, so it's a small space to keep at I do Celsius now, and I don't even really keep the conversions in mind anymore. So when I first got to Thailand, I was having it down at like 1820 Celsius, which is low 60s, mid 60s probably, right? But over time, I just 24 or 25, which is high 70s, I believe. And it's fine, good enough for me, right? So that lowers the cost of it substantially. I could just go on and on with the cost, but so that Social Security, if you're an American, you say, well, and I have a post, I should link it, about why, if you do the numbers, it makes sense to take the Social Security as soon as you get it. You never know when you're going to kick it, right? I think 67 is full age, but if you take it at 62, so that's 5 years that you're getting income, and it takes a number of years at the full Social Security before you're at your equal, where you've received the same amount. But you had 5 years of money to use. And especially if you're still working, you don't need it. You can bank it and you're earning interest on it, compounded interest. You can be way ahead, depending on how you plan your finances, way ahead by taking it early. But the thing is, you can, if you're in the West and those levels of income are, still a tough thing. People say, oh, they're on a fixed income Social Security. Well, here in Thailand, you live here, and it's like, whoa, 1,500 a month. I live like a king. And there's plenty of places like South America. You could live in, Central America, South America, Mexico, places like that. Same thing, right? Very, 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 very advantageous. Okay, so I'm rambling now. That's it. I'm going to have a post about I'm going to put this one up along with the one where I take a tour of the 2 houses I bought. All right, 20 minutes already. That's enough. Okay, bye.